I mention an atom. As promised, this chapter is on the tango. It's not everyday life has shut doors on others. It promises to none that you have life on your hands. The moral you portray shows who, exactly it is that toy with life. The moral of the story suffice to the thought of another being erased. That's to sum up the truth. Never has life lead many lives, no, it's all fruitful in the end. Mustering up the courage of protecting your loved ones plays an important factor in our everyday life. Possession is not stealing that from somebody dear to you, or they don't matter. Without something someone other can get to. It etches life. Not to sum up the tango he was. Never has he been accused, you think? No, not anymore that matter. To know when you think again? The possessor is in charge of getting a life sentence. The life was Chris Lundegaard. That he possess. All in hindsight he did, the unthinkable. That's to sum up this passage. That no one has the life he leads whence, they haven't suspected. They have ties that bind souls together, in a notch. But we aren't even the go-getter in this day and age. To think Adam committed the unthinkable? All in hindsight and never waver, to some. Not others. Why we have nothing to offer but condolence to Adam Garcia and his many acts of heroic. He wants me to have proof of the subconscious. His past life steals you, think? But no, he's a black guy called Nathan Higgins. And love life out of a rut. To copy my name, Craig the Arson. Well, I'm Craig Arson, a anti-superhero. The way we portray, he told me that's my past life. And you're Craig Arson, a white guy. And that's been proven. The subconscious can help you remember that. That's all he says, you think? I'll stop with that. Listen to his story and you'll know. It's part of a detective agency he's hired to do, Craig, I mean, not Craig the Arson. That's one way we solved the murder of Michael Line. That died on Christmas as part of another paradox. Just like we rehearse to this day. That they say in the subconscious. It's actually not him. Or Rod, his half-brother? That committed the case. He's too old as part of our last life. Not the last one. At that. He's Craig Arson's agency that loves to be a detective and, with dyslexia, too. And it's actually not him. Not to joke around with his court case. But the guy Chris value him and thinks he can call him Nathan. Hey, where's Craig, the new Polly? And that's not what he enjoyed. I meant to say was that. It's actually not what you think. The culprit was over and over again with a new lead. The culprit was none other than the spirit who stole Christmas. Or, it's actually the Christmas that never was for Michael. As we played around as teenagers writing a story for the news editor. At my past life's job. At 14. Sometimes the lead would be the mother who never loved Michael. Or the ghost of Christmas past. Even the Christmas that never was? No one in doubt they ask this question. Is life worth such atrocities that time itself can't tell back who knows? And who knows you that you might erase them from existence? No one know how to care about it, though. And it's come daunting into your life next life, or not. But we fathom getting away enough how to end others' suffering. Enough that no ends meet. You don't heal and be completely biased and not at the end of fate. Nonetheless, they found other things to pacify and animalistic stuff aside. Never grasp at straws to know that's the summary of a lifetime. Even at ends meeting, balancing the fall of some, wait to deal enough for the last to already be okay? Not like others view you even at a cost. To some, but not to others that portray. Enough not to care about outcomes. Within bounded borders, it said we have the truth so enlightening to call their outcome. Something of value laid a bit upon others' expense long enough to smile. And at the end be what can't be fallen or tipped over, at all. Why else has life governed leading to you off another person? By God's trial am I to witness such calamity and at all. Not the rest of the world holds you for your petty life, long enough for others' joy of sorrow. There doesn't seem to be doubt in my head that I would never do that. Or thinks it's cool. Why, the story has a climatic ending. Who knows if he ever comes at. I wrote to him in jail knowing our friendship lasted, no one even bonked him with a rock. From 9 yards, and they worship how I took the hat. Michael and Adam. From a police officer and outrun him in the last minute. That was years as the old Polly could come back a different one. There's jokes that was the other Polly. Not to talk dog cut self to those who knew me. Kind of turned around and it's you've guessed it, the victim. Without condolences I find a witty far out cry that lingers in your soul. To this touching he came back to hang in the years to come. Not Michael's you think, I'm 2012. A year since Fernando call it quits at the adventure. And IR shows you I got married and left in 2014. Not the 2 years I've already been welcomed back, not like Adam you think? Jokes aside and at the immediate future? Dog cut self is a term in people's head or cut. They think it's a spiral or a twist, not joking. It's a serious topic up for debate. What people have up there in the brain and marks them, but they would be blown away if it torpedoes. That's not how I talk past Adam at his attempt to stab poor old Chris. The rest is ripe for the taking, knows he who will know rest is part of the damn souls. And either or I can come up with thoughts to tie over a murder attempt that happened. Why must the soul retrieve to no one else in particular? That happens to be a cool tiger. With what Cambodians say, they would not shun a case that happened without murderous intent. Without the hopes of another to call it that at best. Without words of condolence, and that was never the case. Without the life it went for others to appreciate life?